Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A mathematical notation indicating the number of times a quantity is multiplied by itself. The finger next to the thumb. A number or ratio, a value on a scale of measurement, derived from a series of observed facts, can reveal relative changes as a function of time. Adjust through indexation. The government indexes wages and prices. An alphabetical listing of names and topics along with page numbers where they are discussed. A numerical scale used to compare variables with one another or with some reference number. List in an index. Provide with an index. Index the book. A person who pleads for a cause or propounds an idea. A mathematical notation indicating the number of times a quantity is multiplied by itself. Someone who expounds and interprets or explains. Energy made available by the flow of electric charge through a conductor. The power went out around midnight. Of a government or government official, holding an office means being in power. During his first year in power. A state powerful enough to influence events throughout the world. A mathematical notation indicating the number of times a quantity is multiplied by itself. A very wealthy or powerful businessman. Possession of the qualities, especially mental qualities, required to do something or get something done. Danger heightened his powers of discrimination. Possession of controlling influence. The deterrent power of nuclear weapons. One possessing or exercising power or influence or authority. The mysterious presence of an evil power. Physical strength. Physics. The rate of doing work, measured in watts, equals joule per second. Supply the force or power for the functioning of. The gasoline powers the engines. The finger next to the thumb. The finger next to the thumb. A number or ratio, a value on a scale of measurement, derived from a series of observed facts, can reveal relative changes as a function of time. Something that serves to indicate or suggest. Symptoms are the prime indicants of disease. A number or ratio, a value on a scale of measurement, derived from a series of observed facts, can reveal relative changes as a function of time. A number or ratio, a value on a scale of measurement, derived from a series of observed facts, can reveal relative changes as a function of time. A device for showing the operating condition of some system. A signal for attracting attention. Chemistry. A substance that changes color to indicate the presence of some ion or substance, can be used to indicate the completion of a chemical reaction or, in medicine, to test for a particular reaction. A notation used by mathematicians. The length of breadth of a finger used as a linear measure. Examine by touch. The customer fingered the sweater. Feel or handle with the fingers. Finger the binding of the book. Any of the terminal members of the hand, sometimes excepting the thumb. Her fingers were long and thin. Indicate the fingering for the playing of musical scores for keyboard instruments. One of the parts of a glove that provides covering for a finger or thumb. Search for on the computer. I fingered my boss and found that he is not logged on in the afternoons. A concept whose truth can be proved. Scientific hypotheses are not facts. An event known to have happened or something known to have existed. Your fears have no basis in fact. A piece of information about circumstances that exist or events that have occurred. First, you must collect all the facts of the case. A statement or assertion of verified information about something that is the case or has happened. He supported his argument with an impressive array of facts. A distinctive nature, character, or type. A leader in the mold of her predecessors. A dish or dessert that is formed in or on a mold. A lobster mold. A fungus that produces a superficial growth on various kinds of damp or decaying organic matter. Make something, usually for a specific function. She molded the rice balls carefully. Container into which liquid is poured to create a given shape when it hardens. Sculpture produced by molding. The process of becoming mildewed. Form by pouring, e.g., wax or hot metal, into a cast or mold. Form in clay, wax, etc. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Mold public opinion. The distinctive form in which a thing is made. Become moldy. Spoil due to humidity. The furniture molded in the old house. Loose soil rich in organic matter. Fit tightly, follow the contours of. The dress molds her beautiful figure. Induce into action by using one's charm. Have and exert influence or effect. The artist's work influenced the young painter. Shape or influence. Give direction to. A cognitive factor that tends to have an effect on what you do. Her wishes had a great influence on his thinking. A power to affect persons or events, especially power based on prestige, etc. Used her parents' influence to get the job. Causing something without any direct or apparent effort. One having power to influence another. She was the most important influence in my life. The effect of one thing, or person, on another. The influence of mechanical action. Decide upon or fix definitely. Reach, make, or come to a decision about something. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Establish after a calculation, investigation, experiment, survey, or study. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Experience often determines ability. Fix conclusively or authoritatively. Settle conclusively. Come to terms. Fix in scope. Fix the boundaries of. The tree determines the border of the property. The visual appearance of something or someone. A perceptual structure. Make something, usually for a specific function. Shape a figure. A concrete representation of an otherwise nebulous concept. Any spatial attributes, especially as defined by outline. He could barely make out their shapes. The state of good health, especially in the phrases in condition, or in shape, or out of condition, or out of shape. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Alternative names for the body of a human being. The spatial arrangement of something is distinct from its substance. Geometry is the mathematical science of shape. The supreme headquarters that advises NATO on military matters and oversees all aspects of the Allied Command Europe. Give shape or form to. Shape the dough. Restrain the emission of sound, fluid, etc. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Bring into conformity with rules or principles or usage. Impose regulations. We cannot regulate the way people dress. Fix or adjust the time, amount, degree, or rate of. Regulate the temperature. A database containing an ordered array of items, names or topics. The act of making a list of items. Give or make a list of. Name individually. Give the names of. A database containing an ordered array of items, names or topics. The property possessed by a line or surface that departs from the vertical. The ship developed a list to starboard. Cause to lean to the side. Erosion listed the old tree. Enumerate. Tilt to one side. The ship listed to starboard. Include in a list. Am I listed in your register? An ordered reference standard. An ordered reference standard. A thin flake of dead epidermis shed from the surface of the skin. Remove the scales from. Scale fish. Music. A series of notes differing in pitch according to a specific scheme, usually within an octave. A measuring instrument for weighing. Shows amount of mass. Reach the highest point of. We scaled the Mont Blanc. A metal sheathing of uniform thickness, such as the shield attached to an artillery piece to protect the gunners. An ordered reference standard. Judging on a scale of 1 to 10. A specialized leaf or bract that protects a bud or catkin. A flattened rigid plate forming part of the body covering of many animals. An indicator having a graduated sequence of marks. Climb up by means of a ladder. Measure by or as if by a scale. This bike scales only 25 pounds. Measure with or as if with scales. Scale the gold. Pattern, make, regulate, set, measure, or estimate according to some rate or standard. Relative magnitude. They entertained on a grand scale. Size or measure according to a scale. This model must be scaled down. Take by attacking with scaling ladders. The troops scaled the walls of the fort. The ratio between the size of something and a representation of it. The scale of the map. An ordered reference standard. Circulate or distribute or equip with. Supply blankets for the beds. Give something useful or necessary to. State or say further. Give what is desired or needed, especially support, food or sustenance. The activity of supplying or providing something. An amount of something available for use. Offering goods and services for sale. Give something useful or necessary to. Melt, fat or lard, in order to separate out impurities. Render fat in a casserole. Give an interpretation or rendition of. The pianist rendered the Beethoven sonata beautifully. Bestow. Render thanks. To surrender someone or something to another. Render up the prisoners. Give or supply. The estate renders some revenue for the family. Pass down. Render a verdict. Show in, or as in, a picture. The face of the child is rendered with much tenderness in this painting. Restate. Words, from one language into another language. She rendered the French poem into English. Give back. Render money. Make over as a return. They had to render the estate. A substance similar to stucco but exclusively applied to masonry walls. Cause to become. The shot rendered her immobile. Coat with plastic or cement. Render the brick walls in the den. Give something useful or necessary to. We provided the room with an electrical heater. Supply means of subsistence. Earn a living. He provides for his large family by working 3 jobs. Mount or put up. Give what is desired or needed, especially support, food or sustenance. The hostess provided lunch for all the guests. Make a possibility or provide opportunity for, permit to be attainable or cause to remain. This procedure provides for lots of leeway. Determine. What is to happen in certain contingencies, especially by including a proviso condition or stipulation. The will provides that each child should receive half of the money. Take measures in preparation for. Provide for the proper care of the passengers on the cruise ship. Give something useful or necessary to. Provide or equip with furniture. We furnished the house in the Biedermeier style. Cut lumber, as in woods and forests. The exponent required to produce a given number. A segment of the trunk of a tree when stripped of branches. A written record of events on a voyage, of a ship or plane. A written record of messages sent or received. They kept a log of all transmission by the radio station. Enter into a log, as on ships and planes. Measuring instrument that consists of a float that trails from a ship by a knotted line in order to measure the ship's speed through the water. The exponent required to produce a given number. A specific identifiable position in a continuum or series or especially in a process. A remarkable degree of frankness. A measure for arcs and angles. There are 360 degrees in a circle. An award conferred by a college or university signifying that the recipient has satisfactorily completed a course of study. He earned his degree at Princeton summa cum laude. A position on a scale of intensity or amount or quality. It is all a matter of degree. A unit of temperature on a specified scale. The game was played in spite of the 40-degree temperature. The highest power of a term or variable. The seriousness of something, e.g., a burn or crime. Murder in the 2nd degree. An index that traces the relative changes in the price of an individual good, or a market basket of goods, over time. A measure of someone's weight in relation to height. To calculate one's BMI, Multiply one's weight in pounds and divide that by the square of one's height in inches. Overweight is a BMI greater than 25. Obese is a BMI greater than 30.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.